A Custom Ag in Hoisington.
Sports Day is brought to you by Barton Community College. Explore your future and get started now. Visit gobarton.com.
Okay, Sports Day in 3, 2, 1.
Bursick checks Meadows, the 1-1, swinging a line drive softly up the middle, and off the glove of Bobby Witt Jr. into center. Parker Meadows around third, and he will score. The sure-handed Bobby Witt Jr. couldn't handle the one-hopper.
It's just that number that's there. I was at 29, just need one more 30, but I'm just trying to get to the next base, get to the score. That's really what I'm trying to do.
On this 1-1 pitch, Ohtani lifts a fly ball to deep right field. How far will it go? Into the second deck. It's his 48th home run in his hunt for 50-50.
I didn't come here to beat the Philadelphia Eagles. I was brought here to go out here and try to put ourselves in position to win championships, and that's what we want to do.
Playing them immediately is the real mistake. We have gotten to a place now where we throw these kids out there the second their rookie seasons start, and then they make mistakes, and we say, oh, you can't do that. Oh, what's wrong with him? Oh, Bryce Young is a bust. This kid is being given no chance, and we will call him a bust.
I remember how loud it was. I remember how gorgeous the setting was. And I know that football is really important at BYU, and they've had great tradition of football.
Preseason is kind of exhausting as far as you're preparing for all these teams that you don't get to see a lot, and it's nice now to go prepare for one game instead of 4 games in a day.
It was hot. It was really hot. Yeah, it was really hot. But, I mean, it looked pretty small, long drive, but, I mean, it felt like family and felt like home from the very first day that I came here.
And good afternoon. Welcome to Sports Day on 1590 KVGB, 95.5 FM, the talk of the town. Welcome in. Wednesday Sports Day show. I'm talking with a smile right now.
Woohoo!
A smile.
I can hear it. It's way better.
You just got to talk with a smile. Welcome to the Wednesday show. Steve Webster with you. Mike Corson in studio. Did you ever figure out which way you're going in the hall, left or right or left or right?
I just got back from lunch.
Yeah, okay, all right, okay. And I'm the one not smiling? Come on. Shelley Duvall.
Hey-o.
Our special Wednesday guest host on the show. Mike Hesher is in. Dr. Doom will go back into his mode here in just a moment. And Landon Winkler is running the video stream today on GreatBendPost.com, internet, satellite, radio. That's what he's doing over there. And it's a learning experience for him every day he comes in here. I don't know if his little 28-year-old ears can take all this in here. All right, on the show today, Shelley Duvall's going to be in.
Hey, I'm here.
Yes.
What's it called?
It's my Daily Dose with Duval, right? Oh.
She's renamed the show.
Not this segment.
Why not?
No, you get the next one.
Okay.
Okay, all right.
I'll take that.
Corson, you're right.
You going to get it paid for?
I don't know.
You don't have it paid for to have it named.
Hey, let's go. Look at his face. Now you turn to frowny face again.
Even Hash has a smile on his
I know.
face.
She brings
You're
energy
welcome.
to the room.
You have to have a smile on
We
your
will
face.
talk Great Bend Panther volleyball. Lady Panthers split last night in Manhattan. Losing to Manhattan. They beat the Manhattan Indians, lost the Hayes High Indians. Or beat the Hayes High Indians, lost to
There you
Manhattan.
go.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
And there goes her smile.
Oh, no. Actually, I'm okay with it. We'll discuss that later, though. Let's talk some Orioles baseball,
look
boys.
at that. See, she keeps
Sparkly
the show
pants.
online. Also, Scott Crable, the new head coach for the St. John Tigers, who has his team off to a 2-0 start. Scott Crable, that sounded familiar. Scott Crable, he's a former Greenback.
Oh, really?
Pratt Greenback, yeah, he was a junkyard frog.
Okay.
Back in 2006. Anyway, we'll talk St. John Tiger football today. Voice of the Fort Hays State Tigers, Gerard Welbrock, will be on. Let's see. We'll get to our Wednesday sports headlines. And, of course, the always popular sounds of the past 24 hours or so. The call on WXYT. Riley Green's single. So that was ruled a hit.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, he's going to defend it.
The apologist jumped right in.
He's going to defend it no matter what.
The ball that skipped past Bobby Witt Jr., and they go on to beat the Royals last night by the score of 3-1. Detroit now within a game and a half of Minnesota for the final wild card spot, 3 games behind KC for the second wild card spot. And they wrap up their series tonight in Kansas City. Tarek Skubal, 16-4 against KC's Alec Marsh. Your headline for this, Hesh, this morning was, let's see, the number of games is dwindling in the Major League Baseball season. And for the Kansas City Royals, trying to cross the finish line with a playoff berth in hand is becoming more and more elusive.
Is it not?
Poetic.
That sounds really story-like.
You got to tell me that there are not Kansas City fans out there going, here we go, here we go.
I'm definitely counting it down. Like, what is the math here?
They've got a
the magic
4.5
number
game
about
lead.
2?
They've got a 4.5 game lead, okay, on Seattle right now. So just.
But they're playing.
Well, no, that's going to say
That's not right.
Yeah, no, that's okay. Yeah, you're down to 3
over Detroit.
Yeah, Minnesota could win. I mean, they're playing Cleveland right now, so
And they've
it's going to be okay. Hesh, have confidence.
Got Marsh on the mound tonight. That's not good.
Against a probable Cy Young Award winner? No, it's not good.
So we come in here all the time. We talk about okay. We'll say, man, that bullpen. And Hester, no, just leave the bullpen alone. They're going to be fine. And then something like this happens, and then he's ready to jump off a cliff. They're going to be okay.
You think so?
Yes.
Okay.
He needs to practice his breathing tonight.
Yes. But
There you
last
go.
night, hard hit ball, 3rd inning. The center fielder Meadows saved 2 runs with a really incredible play. Had the big hit in the extra innings. The game went to Meadows, and we've become accustomed to Bobby Witt making those plays. I don't even know if another shortstop in the league gets to that ball. Objectively.
Objectively, yes. Uh-huh.
Bobby Witt Jr.'s 30th stolen base. He became the first major league shortstop with 230 home run and 30 stolen bases in the same season. So did that make you stop and remember where you'll be the rest of your entire life the night that Bobby Witt went 30-30 for the second time?
First inning last night, petting the cats, and then you hear the crowd go off, and you're like, what happened? History's what happened.
You petting the cat or the game? What?
I will always remember that little head pat 30-30.
So
he'd been stuck on 28 forever, got 29 the other night in first inning last night.
I know, but it's not like Hank Aaron breaking Babe Ruth record. Is it? I mean, okay.
He's the first.
So we got a dude about to go 50-50.
Shohei Ohtani's 48th home run coming in 11-9 loss to the Marlins last night. 11 games left to be the first ever to 50-50. Again, okay, that's really cool. Ohtani, man, he's just unbelievable. But is it a landmark?
I would say it is. It was a big deal. I had the 40-40
I know it's a
Jose
landmark, but
Canseco
is it one that you're going to remember the day it
I don't like
happens?
Ohtani, so I don't.
Shelley, what do you think? Will you remember when Shohei goes 50-50?
Probably not. But do you know what I'm thinking right now?
Volleyball.
No.
Oh.
Wild Thing, the movies. Willie Mays Hayes, stolen bases. Come on. Who's got the most stolen bases right now? Do we know?
It's
Ellie De La Rosa.
The dude from Cincinnati, yeah.
From Cincinnati? Okay.
Yeah, he's got
How many has he got? Do we know? You numbers, dude.
67-ish.
Hey, that's not bad.
She hadn't learned that you don't just throw out questions here because.
Oh, sorry, I threw you off your loop.
We don't know.
Not actually encyclopedias, Shelley.
Okay, well, start learning.
We don't
I
have.
got my phone. I got my phone. I can be an encyclopedia right quick.
It's called Google.
So Shohei Ohtani.
MLB.com.
There you go.
No, I think.
Yeah, Willie Mays. What was his name? Willie Mays.
Willie Mays Hayes.
He went like he was like in the 41 club, right? He had 40 stolen bases and 1 home run. I don't think he had a lot of power. Yeah. Okay. All right. Raheem Morris, head coach of the Atlanta Falcons. He didn't come here to beat the Philadelphia Eagles.
Came to win some championships.
Came to win a championship. Boy, their Falcons are flying high right now, aren't they? Chiefs go in there Monday night, and they'll have a new running back.
Sunday night. They play Sunday.
Sunday night. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I knew it was one of them primetime special deals. Kareem Hunt coming back.
Find that interesting? After basically Clark Hunt said, you lied to me, you're not going to play for us anymore, and now all of a sudden things have changed?
We need you.
It's about winning, right?
Absolutely it
Okay.
is. I mean, doesn't mean. I mean, you should know this better than anyone else, Hesh. You can break up with somebody and come back to them again, right?
Really? You're gonna go down.
No, I'm just saying, okay? And
you have a good point.
Okay, all right.
Only twice, though, not a third time.
This is his second. Hunt had a big rookie season. He ran for a league high 1,327 yards, caught 53 passes, 11 touchdowns. That was in 2017. Then he played for the Browns for 5 seasons. Most productive of those seasons, 2020, when he rushed for 841 yards, caught 38 passes. He's not going to get the bulk of the carries when he gets back in there if he's going to play Sunday night. He's on the practice squad right now. Last year he ran for 411, caught 15 balls.
So is he going to be Carson Steele? Do we know yet what the Chiefs are going to do?
Probably, and Samari Pirine probably going to start getting some action too. I like him. Mike Greenberg talking about what I've said for years. These quarterbacks, they come in and they want them to play right away. They want them to be superstars right away.
So when I started here, did I go play JV Great Bend Post? No, I got stuck on the big post. All those followers.
And the team struggled until you became a good player. I mean,
his frown is turning into his vocabulary now.
No, you strengthened up my left hand, started using the shift key.
Okay, that's fine, but okay, if you're going to start him, okay, that's where Denver's gone, right? Okay, so they're starting Bo Nix, but you have a coach that's going to let him grow through those pains and not expect him to go out and lead your team to the playoffs.
Okay, so why do they pay him so much?
Because he's a first-round pick, you have to. Do you think he's going
to? You pay for potential.
And there are guys who come up and are game ready to play. So what's the difference between?
Because you're an NFL quarterback, and it's not like playing college. It's not. I mean, Patrick Mahomes got to sit and watch Alex Smith for an entire season. You don't think that helped in his development, especially coming from the wild world of Texas Tech offense where you just sling it down the field? I mean, that's what he does a lot. But to sit and watch, especially under a good professional, I mean, Bryce Young getting benched for Andy Dalton. Don't you let him grow through his struggles if you're going to name him the starting quarterback?
And I can see that. I don't think Carolina's going to be competing for anything serious. So if you start the season 0-8, so be it. But yeah, I wouldn't go to, because you're going to destroy his confidence, and you're making a fool of him nationally. We're talking.
Well, look at all the
him in
quarterbacks
Great
have
Bend.
come up, and then all of a sudden they have a bad start to a season, and all of a sudden they're a bust.
But I think it's ridiculous, and that's the media. A bust after 2 games.
That's what they're saying. I mean,
that's what they're saying.
As a coach, I think that's just a bunch of you know what. I think you have to expect that some of these athletes coming in, whether it's what level it is, are going to have ups and downs. And if you're already casting them aside because they make a couple mistakes in the first game,
rookie season in
their
the
rookie
NFL?
season, like you're still learning, you know. But I don't know. I'm back and forth on that. We had the same situation last night. I pulled up some girls because we had some out, but if you don't give them the opportunity to play in the big level games, how are they going to get any better? But they do have to learn.
Right. And you come in just like you said. You come over here and you come in and you're a proficient broadcaster.
Not a broadcast. I was the writing side because I had done it before. Well, these guys played high-level college football. They've played quarterback before. But so getting back to your point yesterday, we got all these preseason games. Why aren't these organizations throwing in the rookies that are supposed to be the franchise guys, making them play? I don't want to see Aaron Rodgers out there in the preseason.
I would agree with that. 100%.
Because if you roll them out in the preseason and they get hurt, then you're going to be it's the same thing.
That's a gamble. And I'm sure their agents have a say in their futures and whatnot. But at the end of the day,
I think it came up there.
business.
Remember, we had that discussion probably about 2 or 3 weeks ago. Just have at least mandatory 9-game red shirt when you first come into the league. I don't know. I'm just saying, if you put a quarterback out there, a rookie quarterback, then let him grow into the position. Don't bench him now because Bryce Young has not been that good, but you think he's just a bust?
And I'm trying to think. I think he was really impressive at Alabama.
Yeah.
So I just don't understand how I just refuse to believe that the NFL is that much better. And I know I'm wrong, but we've seen lesser guys than what he did in college come up.
But we haven't seen a lot of people from Alabama come be NFL quarterbacks, correct? I mean, their quarterbacks have not performed very well at the NFL level.
Mm-hmm.
Blame Nick
But they get
Saban.
paid. I mean,
Well,
Saban.
Chris Kleiman says Provo, Utah is a beautiful place to visit.
Can't wait until Utah goes to the Pac-12 and BYU. Let them play for 2 years and then.
Chris Kleiman remembering a game there in the late 2000s.
It was 2008 is what he said. I didn't want to get
when he was
specific.
at North Dakota State.
Was that, I don't.
Yeah.
Oh, it would have been. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
sounds right.
BYU's 3-0. They've beat Southern Illinois, SMU, and Wyoming. 8:30. You won't be able to see it.
That's your bedtime.
Saturday night air show.
Oh, he has DVR.
That will happen. Yeah.
Along with the
Barton
Cats.
National Champions getting the rings that
Oh,
night.
that's
Oh,
right. Because yeah, you're going to be out. I can't wait to see you. I'm come running up. Hey, you got to see the K-State game, Mike?
Did you see what happened?
That was a great game, man.
Great
You
game.
missed it.
He'll be running away with his hands over his ears.
Earmuffs.
Okay, Megan Bessaker, they begin continue conference play tonight. I asked Megan yesterday because they have the Wizard of Oz museum down there, Dorothy's house.
Yep.
I thought maybe she'd take the players there since that's her home stomping grounds and everything.
You would think, but half of them probably don't even know what the Wizard of Oz is.
Coming from Israel, do you think she'd walk out and say,
Oh,
I don't
there's
think we're in
Dorothy's home.
Kansas
I
City
would
anymore."
imagine. I mean, that's
Well, they got something better. She takes them by and mom feeds them, is what she said yesterday, correct? Yeah. Mom
yeah.
feeds them. Yeah. I'd rather go to
Feeds 'em
mom's
good.
than Dorothy's house.
Nia Dannenberg. What? Isn't that
Nia.
amazing? You've got a player on your team that's been in the Army for 3 years, did her mandatory service in Israel, and then comes
here.
And her comments on her first impressions on when she got here.
It was hot. It was really hot.
Yeah.
It was hot.
Well, she's not been here in December yet. Then she'll be in for a pleasant surprise. Then that we have both extremes.
Wonderful conversation yesterday. Okay, there you go. Show's lined out. I'm sorry about the comment I made about you, Hesh.
No, you're not.
It rolls off my shoulders.
He's already forgot about
Yeah.
it.
Thank you.
Thank you for bringing it up.
Okay, what's the segment coming up?
Me, all about us.
Daily dose of Duval.
Daily Dose of Duval, Great Bend Panther volleyball and more. Mike Corson and Shelley coming up.
If you're needing a healthcare plan for your business, let the experienced and dedicated staff at Freedom Claims Management Incorporated customize a health insurance plan that fits your business's need. Regardless if you're a large corporation or a small business on Main Street, Freedom Claims Management Incorporated can help you provide your employees with great health coverage at an affordable cost. Visit freedomclaimse.com where you can schedule a free, no obligation health assessment today. Freedom Claims Management Incorporated in Great Bend.
When it comes to car maintenance, it's good to know a local guy that can get things done. The Eller family has been in the auto repair business in Great Bend forever. Greg Eller continues that long tradition of helping people. Eller Automotive Repair specializes in wheel alignments, oil changes, and general maintenance for all makes and models of cars and small trucks. Open 8 to 5 Monday through Thursday, 8 to 4 Fridays. Eller Automotive Repair at 915 Morton, right behind Great Bend Appliance, Furniture, and Sleep Source, 10th and Morton.
Working the land is by nature a dirty job. What fuels me to get it done? The generations of farmers who've worked the soil before me. What fuels my equipment? Cenex Ruby Fieldmaster, a premium diesel fuel with an additive package that's 40% more effective at breaking down engine deposits. The cleanest fuel yet for the dirtiest of jobs. Cenex Ruby Fieldmaster, fueled by innovation, powered to perform.
Contact American Plains Co-op Fuel Department in Great Bend, your certified Cenex distributor.
Sports Day presents On the Prowl with Mike Corson, an inside look at all the sports taking place at Great Bend High School.
Welcome back to Sports Day, 1590 KVGB 95.5 FM. Mike Corson joined today by Lady Panther volleyball coach Shelley Duval. Shelley, why don't you tell us who this program is sponsored by?
All right, Sports Day is brought to you by Eller Automotive Repair. They specialize in wheel alignments, oil changes, and general maintenance for all makes and models of cars and small trucks. Also, Sports Day is brought to you by Freedom Claims Management, innovative healthcare plans for your business. Let them take care of everything for you from the start to the finish, and continued support, they have you covered. And last but not least, brought to you by Animal Medical Center, Sports Day in part. Great Bend, big or small, they take care of them all, including my own. So there you have it.
Fine reads from Shelley Duval, Lady Panther volleyball coach. Obviously, kind of a busy week for you guys. Had the big tournament in Riley County on Saturday and then went back to Manhattan yesterday. So we'll start with that Riley County tournament.
Okay.
Start getting into the season. Like, these girls might not lose a game.
Right.
What was it? Clay Center comes in ranked number 4 in Class 4A.
Mm-hmm.
How good was Clay Center?
Clay Center was all around. They had players in every angle of the court. It's nice to go in undefeated and play strong, but we're going to see those teams. We're going to see the ones that are pretty solid. Same thing with Manhattan last night. They're definitely ranked in the 4A because of what they've got. And Coach put together a great team, and we beat them the last 2 years in the championship match in that tournament, and they got us this year.
And it wasn't a weak tournament by any stretch
no.
of the imagination. Valley Heights was ranked in 2A, I believe. Jeffco North is usually ranked.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of young kids on your team. How did they handle maybe seeing some of those perennial powerhouses?
It was kind of nice because like Valley Heights last year, we didn't really see much competition from them. But this year, they took us to 3, and the third set we won 27-25. It was an alignment call on their end that they missed, and that gave us the 26 points, and then we scored the last. But they had an outside hitter that was a stud, and our littles got in there and acted as though it was, a sub-state match and played their best. And, we're always still going to make mistakes and learn from them, but you don't really see that youngness much anymore with our girls.
And writing up the results, I'm always curious about the scores. A mistake is a point, so anytime you see 25-8, I'd say anything under 10 is kind of a thrashing. But you'll see sometimes good teams only score 8 points. So as a coach or kids on the court, maybe you get beat 25-10, or even if you get beat in straight sets, does that mean anything to you, or it's another match?
Oh, no, it definitely does. I mean, a lot of the times when you're only scoring less than 10 points, you're either doing something wrong or not doing anything at all. And at that point for our level and what we play, that's pretty much not acceptable to us. We did see Chapman and beat them, I think, 25-8, and another one 25-9, something like that. But a lot of it was just, they were in a rebuilding season, and we're not really. I mean, we are, but we're not. So you can definitely see the level of play is different. And so sometimes that's hard, but you got to keep your girls motivated and just try to score points any way you can.
And kind of talking to you on scrimmage night, obviously you've got your seniors back, but it was how much are the freshmen going to play? One name I've continued to see, one of your stat leaders is Michaela Minton, and then Micah Elligood, baby Elligood up at the net.
Baby Elligood.
How big have those freshmen been, and the senior leadership in front of them?
Definitely. I think Micah's really come along really well, especially with her sister on the court. When you're playing that kind of same position, you kind of just look up to her and see what she does, and she watches Cassie a lot. We did kind of move her around a little bit at Riley County, put her on the right side because we needed some power on the block, and putting Micah over there. That's kind of where we aren't using her much as a hitter, but with blocking skills, she's just very tall, long arms. So it's still a learning curve because that right side position is tough. Michaela Minton continues to perform for us. She's small, but that doesn't mean anything. Last night we made some adjustments, and we actually had her set some balls. So she's kind of a multi-stat player as far as assists and being able to hit a ball, and defensively she played outstanding.
And what does that do? Because 2 years ago I'm watching Kaya Bear, and she's on the JV court at a scrimmage, and I said, why is that girl on
the
JV
8th grade
side?
court, you mean?
And you said, yeah, she was an 8th grader.
Yeah.
She's just bringing Minton up. Does that open up Kaya to hit a little bit more?
Yeah, that's exactly what we ended up having to do last night. We saw Hayes, and I mean, it was an adjustment. We didn't have Cassie last night. She's out with a concussion. Should be back in next week. She unfortunately had a car accident and just kind of gave her a little whiplash and not able to play last night. So against two of our biggest teams, we were out one of our power hitters. So we actually brought Chayla Prendergast up, which is one of our JV players. She's one of the softball pitchers for Great Bend High School. And Chayla stepped in and did well, but the speed of the game is totally different. We saw Hayes. It wasn't pretty. Won the first set. They came back and got us the second set, and then I made an adjustment on the last and ended up running a 6-2 system so that Michaela could set, and we put Kaya on the outside to hit some balls.
Talking to Lady Panther volleyball coach Shelly Duvall, and you talked about Michaela being small. Micah looks like a freshman. Girls are going to get bigger and stronger. We've seen it from Kara Feist. Just how fun as a coach to say, man, I got these girls
for another
3.5 years.
Exactly. That's kind of like what we were just talking about before this, where like rookie season, do you kind of just say they're a bust, or do you continue to let them learn and build? And, it's kind of cool. I had a conversation with Micah about, the expectation of the varsity level. And then, Is it better to get more reps in at the JV level? So a little bit of both for her is really good, because I do think that even though they're young, they have the potential to play that high level, but you still have to make sure that they're getting quality and good reps in order for them to build for the next few years.
And how did it change? You win 31 games last year, set a school record. Does that make the decision on your end harder that, hey, we do have a reputation to uphold at this point, but it seems like they've came in and actually contributed quite well?
I think the good thing is these girls kind of set that up for themselves. I don't really have to say anything. I think, I've been here 7 years. I think, it was really cool. I got to see the post yesterday about Greg hitting his 200th win, which was awesome for the Ellenwood Eagles. And I'm 9 matches away from mine. So that's really exciting too. And these girls know it. And so that's a big motivator. But I think when they come in off great seasons, it's because the established leadership of teams prior to. And they just kind of take that in hand, and the girls really do it on their own. I'm just kind of there. I might do a little bit, but.
Back-to-back trips to Manhattan. It's not the worst drive, but it's not the best drive either. Girls enjoy going up to see the same. It's a different location, I believe.
Different location. We've never been to Manhattan High School. The rotation has never been that way, so we had never been in that gym. It actually was way smaller than I thought it would be. So it was kind of different from what we were expecting, I guess, from a 6A high school. But it's Manhattan-ness. I'll go there any day to Manhattan. But it was nice. I got to see my stepson, Jordan. He was there, and a lot of family members and some former players. Bryn Boxberger was there, one of my seniors for a few years ago, and she actually ended up line judging for us. So it's really fun when you see your former players come back to support the girls.
So Hesher would argue that I can't call it a streak because it was only 2, but
right
in the Riley County tournament with a loss to Clay, open up this one with a loss to Manhattan, come back in a very well-contested Hayes match. How about the toughness of the girls to battle through that one?
We looked, I'll say we looked rough. It was kind of a game on both sides. They didn't look good. We didn't look good. But you want to get that 4th WAC win, because that puts us 4-0 in the WAC right now, and kind of gives you that little bit of, okay, we can do this. Even when you've got 1 or 2 of your players out, we're still able to use our underclassmen and people step up into those roles. But I think it's something to be said for a team that can come back from taking that second loss and winning that 3rd set, because sometimes we struggle with winning that 3rd set after winning the second.
Yeah, and as I just typed them up, you can see some of the results on GreatBendPost.com, but both Manhattans were 25-19, so now to know that, Cassie Elligood wasn't in there, and they still played.
And we missed 8 serves. So, that's 4 serves a set. That puts you right in the ball game. So little mistakes like that. But again, the game before with Hayes and Manhattan, Hayes struggled with them. Manhattan's a great team. They got some girls that I have come along. They got a little freshman on the right side that kind of put the ball down that we weren't expecting. And the Manhattan coach even asked me, she's like, "Where's your number 2 at?" She said, "We've been waiting for her all week. We've been setting up against her." And I said, "Well, she's sitting over there on the sidelines in the hat." So that was kind of a little bit of a boost for Cassie to know that, teams are still looking for making sure they're setting up against her. So she'll be ready to go next week, but we're just going to give her some time to heal.
Speaking of next week, not a lot of home action last year. Tuesday night,
yes.
Junction City coming to town.
Yes, we're going to set up the big court, the main court, C-team, JV, and varsity, finally all on the same nights. First time it's happened in a long time. So come see your Panthers on Tuesday, and then we're right back at home on Thursday again. And then JV tournament on Saturday.
So since it's only Junction City, varsity will be best of 5?
Yes, all the games except for, I believe, C-team will be the best of 5. C-team will start at 4, followed by JV, and then varsity best 3 of 5.
So that is at Great Bend High School Tuesday night. Great Bend versus Junction City. Shelley, always a pleasure to have you in here on Wednesdays. Bring some energy in. So, yeah, we will talk to you after the results this week. More Sports Day after this.
From the Mayo Money Management Studios, 1590 KVGB Great Bend and 95.5 FM K238CK Hoisington.
Community bankers should actually know your community. Hi, I'm Sean Powelson, president of your local Equity Bank. As someone who lives here, I know many of you, and I know what's important to you. I've been in the industry a long time, and I've helped many navigate through financial challenges and lead them to financial opportunities. I believe that people bank with people, so I'd like to invite you to stop by one of our region's 5 locations and meet our friendly, helpful staff. Let us show you our commitment to serving you and our communities. Because at Equity Bank, we're right here beside you. Member FDIC.
Holland Top Tech. Hands-on training in areas like electrical, hydraulics, and diesel engines. with technicians gaining the knowledge and skills needed to start a career with CNH Level 1 training. Join this high-demand field at a CNH dealership in only 9 months. Learn more at toptech.bartoncccc.edu.
Central and Western Kansas residents, are you looking for a new vehicle? Marmy Auto Group can make it happen. Marmy Auto Group includes Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep and Ram, Chevrolet, and GMC. Marmy Auto Group, your Central and Western Kansas dealer, has new and pre-owned vehicles, or we can special order your vehicle today. If your existing vehicle needs serviced, Marmy's award-winning service department can help. Come to Marmy Auto Group on 10th or marmys.net. Marmys, make it happen.
It's all here at Great Bend Rec.
Sports, leisure, fitness and wellness, even senior and adaptive needs. It's all here at Great Bend Rec. Pick up a program guide or stop by the rec office at 1214 Stone in Great Bend. Or check out the website, greatbendrec.com. Live, play, explore at the rec.
It's all here at Great Bend Rec. Live, play, explore at the rec.
It's Sports Day on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM. Presented by Barton Community College and the Cougar Athletic Department.
Welcome back, Sports Day here on 1590 KVGB, 95.5 FM. Show brought to you in part by the Barton Cougar Booster Club, continuing our efforts to make the Barton Athletic Department the best in the country. And Equity Bank, here when you need us. Bank local, save big with in-person banking and business banking. Visit equitybank.com for more information. Joining us, head coach of the 2-0 St. John Tigers, Scott Crable, on the program today. Scott, thanks for taking time to join us on the show. And I kept saying, Scott Crable, that sounds familiar. Let's see. Was he the guy from Pratt? Yeah. Yeah. And by golly, he is. How you doing, Coach?
Yeah. I'm doing good. Yep, it's the same old me from a few years back. Yeah. Once a greenback, always a greenback, right?
Yeah,
it's been a while, like we were just talking about. Yeah. No, I'm doing good. Thanks for having me on the show. It's great to be here. I really do appreciate it.
Well, talk about how this opportunity came about to, work with kids, coach football, and be involved in the cattle business. Yeah.
So we were living in Colorado, my wife and I married a Cornwell from here in St. John, and we were out at Colorado State for her to finish her master's and then start on her PhD, and I was helping coach football out there at Fort Collins High School, home of Lambkins, give them a shout out. Yeah. And I coached for a few years, and then I went to work for Colorado State University in their athletic department, not coaching, just working there. And after a few years, we had moved back here to family farm after some things came up, and while we were back here it's been going on 3 years now. Last year or so, I was talking to Justin Nusser, the former head coach here, and the AD still, and I was starting to watch some film and just help out a little bit behind the scenes last year, just talking over some things with him, and he asked me if I was interested in taking over this year during basketball season. I thought over it a little bit, and then when the position came open, I applied for it, and off we went back in, what's it been, March or April now, I think it was, so not too long ago.
So
but that's kind of how it came about, and the farm we took on a portion of the farm that her dad was part of for a long time down here. So that's how we got back here. We were both working for the USDA before then for a little bit as well.
What's it like being back on the sidelines, Scott, or back around the game this much? I mean, what's it been like?
Well, you don't realize how much you miss it. You do miss it because you still talk about your playing days now and then, and you always have good memories and fun stories. And I ran into my old coach, Jeff Foose, who's the Sterling athletic director now. I ran into him at the Skyline Volleyball Tournament a couple weekends ago, and I don't know that I've seen him probably since, probably like 2007. And so, 20 years ago almost now, and I got a chance to talk to him, and we talked about all the fun times we had, and shared some stories about remembering some things that my older brother and I did while we were on the team together there at Pratt. I was a sophomore and he was a senior. You realize how much of a connection you have with a lot of people, and then being back on the sidelines, being around the guys, you remember what it's like going through practices when it's 95 degrees and it's tough. And you get back there on Friday nights where it's cool and you get to fly around and have some fun and play football, and you realize how much of a good time it was. Basically 20 years ago now.
Scott Crable with us, head coach of the St. John Tigers and Pratt native. So am I. I'm glad that you've been able to come over and see the real man's game, which is 8-man football, which of course we played at Skyline. You're just at 11-man stuff there at Pratt. But what's the 8-man been like for you?
Well, I tell you, I had to joke about it with my assistant coaches the first few times we were out there. I said, you know what, I feel like I'm missing 3 guys. I look out there and I need 3 more guys or something off. I don't know what it is. I think it's that. And I tell you what, it's been, all joking aside, it has been a lot of fun to bring things from playing at Pratt and coaching out at Fort Collins and being around other 11-man game, or being around other 11-man schools, bring some of those thoughts and some of those play designs and schemes to 8-man, where it's a lot more open, it's a lot more up and down the field, definitely more spread out. It's a lot faster paced than I remember playing at Pratt in the 11-man. So it's definitely been a learning experience for the few months I've been doing it. I've probably learned more about football all over again than I knew growing up again.
When you get this job, what was the first thing that you wanted to do? Obviously, you wanted to recruit the halls and take care of the kids who were coming up through there. And obviously, it has worked pretty good so far. You're off to a 2-0 start, but kind of talk about when you got named to the position, what you did to where we are right now.
Well, so the first thing I did, we had our traditional interest meeting that you usually have in the springtime with kids to see who wants to come out, and I laid out my vision for what we were going to do and to get to where I wanted to be as a team and as a program. I told them it was going to start with summer workouts, and there was no exceptions to showing up and working out and conditioning. That was the foundation for everything I did in high school. It's the foundation for everything I did when I was coaching. It's the foundation for everything I did in college at K-State. It's a requirement to play sports and become a better athlete. You have to get into the weight room and you have to run and you have to work on your quickness. And that was the big thing we talked about was committing to that and showing up every day, and not just showing up, being there and pushing yourself to get better every day, because it's not always easy at 6 o'clock in the morning to get up and lift and then run and run and run and run while some of your friends are probably sleeping and just getting up. But I think the kids are starting to see that work pay off, and it's not just for football too. I really, really pushed that with them. We got basketball players on the team. We've got track and field guys on the team. We had cross country kids working out with us because it was the true summer program. And just to see all those guys get better, become better athletes by buying into what we wanted them to do is just, that was the first step for everything, for the football team for sure, but then overall for everybody within the school who's working out. Hopefully they've started to see that as well too.
What do your numbers look like this year, Coach?
So we're sitting at, we've had quite a few kids. We had a handful of kids come out after we started, and we are at 21, which is, I think that was either the same or up from 1 last year. We had to replace a lot of seniors that graduated last year. We have, off the top of my head, I think we have about five or six freshmen that came in as well. So it evened back out. I'm very, very happy with how many guys we have out. There's a lot of guys that showed up.
You go out and win first game, 46-0 over La Crosse, a traditional power who's probably, it's been a long time since St. John beat La Crosse in football. Maybe, I don't know, La Crosse was 11-man for a long time. That's got to be winner's rewarding when you talk about all that hard work getting up in the summer and then going out and pitching a shutout in your first game. What was that like?
You can't quite describe it. I can't explain how happy I was for the guys, because we were, Coach Portillo and Coach Martin and I, we were there with them in the mornings, 3 days a week, working towards this every single week from June 3rd on. And it was, I was so happy for the guys to see that pay off like that against a team that it's been, I think I saw somewhere since like 2005 or somewhere back in that time frame that they've beaten them. That's a great feeling for those guys. I don't know that we could have asked for a better start to the year. I don't think we could have even dreamed a better start to the year. So to see that hard work pay off for them in the form of that kind of a win to start the season, I don't really know what else to say about it. It's just I'm so proud of how they came out that first game. And then followed it up last week too.
Yeah, with the shootout. Yeah, with Ness City.
Yeah, that and it rolled over to play in Ness City, another traditionally good football program out there that they know how to play. They're big, they're physical, just like La Crosse is. We probably gave up we gave up more big plays than we would have liked to, but it's inevitable that you're going to give up some plays. You're going to have some things happen to you. And then that was the big message after Ness City was we faced some adversity and we didn't stop. We kept coming back from it. And that was a big deal for them as well, too. Again, I couldn't be more happy for the way they've started out this year. They're off to a great start and their hard work is paying off so far.
Talk about some of the kids, because some of your upperclassmen they've taken their lumps. They won 3 games last year. That was a step in the right direction. But tell me about some guys that you're kind of leaning on this year. Some of those upperclassmen.
Yeah, well, I think everyone in the area knows who Braxton Alpers is by now. He's our quarterback. He rushed for 293 yards last week and 6 touchdowns and had a punt return, and he's one of our best defensive ball players. He's done everything for us the first 2 weeks, but without those big boys up front and our running backs and wing backs and tight ends blocking, there was a lot of plays that he was untouched for about the first 10 yards last week, and that's a big statement for. That they're all upperclassmen. Aiden Adame is our one senior. He's our starting right guard. He blocked very well. Julio Lozano is our starting center. He's a junior. He blocked very well. Daniel Portillo made the move from running back to offensive line this year, and he's our left guard. And you watch him on film and you see him 5-10 yards downfield, and there's a guy being driven back with him every single time. You get blocking and attitude like that up front. It goes a long ways, and then you throw that out there to Juan Ibarra at wide receiver. Just he's always on somebody blocking. The same thing with Wyatt Maherter. He's a freshman, and we've put him at wing back, and he's out there blocking 90% of the game. And same with Jace Reyes at running back. Those guys they've bought into giving effort and blocking first to set everything else up in the offense. And Weston Peterson at tight end, he's another junior. We have a lot of juniors that play that, you're right, they took their lumps last year as sophomores. That you see the development that they've had from sophomore to a junior, just not only in getting bigger and faster and stronger, but their football development is. We were all there. When we played as a sophomore, you're not quite sure about things. You're still figuring it out. There's a lot going on. Junior year, things start to click a little bit more for you. You play a little bit faster, and you understand that it's okay to make a mistake because everyone's going to have something happen to them. My biggest thing to those guys and to our freshmen, everyone, freshmen, sophomores, juniors, seniors, it's okay for you to make a mistake. We can coach the mistake. go out and do it at 5,000 miles an hour. That is what we need. And to see them do that and grow from last year to this year, especially the guys who've been around for, the 4 years, Aiden has been through it. He was a part of a lot of stuff these last 4 years. I'm happy for those guys to see them start off this year this way because of what they've done.
Well, you get Kinsley at home on Friday, looking to keep it going, and Hodgman County, Victoria. So the schedule's certainly picking up. And right now, the support from the community, but people started to come out and say, hey, this is pretty cool. We're rolling teams up right now.
Yeah, definitely. We definitely have a gauntlet coming up. Kinsley's very, very good. They're very big, very physical, good speed in behind. I don't think we're going to play a team this year that's not a good football team. There's a lot of good athletes out there, and I think that start has definitely helped. I've had a lot of people tell me in the community they're very, very excited about how we're playing football and how the kids are acting, and that's a good message to hear from me. I told the kids yesterday after practice, I said, you guys probably don't know how many people have come up to us coaches and say we're excited to see them just running everywhere from the huddle to the line. On defense, everyone's chasing the ball. There's 7 guys, 8 guys, 6 guys around the ball at all times. Just they're excited to see the kids just, at the end of the day, they're excited to just see them play and play hard and play fast, and they're having fun. It's easy to have fun when you're winning, but it's nice to see them notice that the kids are doing well. And then absolutely there's some community support around here. It's good to have it.
Well, Scott, one more question for you. Have you got over do you call your ends, or do you call them tackles?
that was probably the hardest thing probably the first few weeks of practice in the summer when we were doing walkthroughs. We would line up in our spread formation, and I would call them tackles, and they are not tackles. They are guards. That was the hardest thing for me to get over was, and Aiden looks like a tackle. He's big. He's good size, and I say, nope, you're playing guard. You're not playing tackle. I got to get used to that. You're right.
Yeah, just think if you tight formation, you could have gone out for passes in high school. See?
Yeah, I know that was maybe that was my problem. I should have convinced Coach Foose we need to play 8-man.
Yeah. All right, Coach, appreciate it. Good luck Friday against Kinsley, and hopefully we get a run into you before the season's over with. Okay.
No, I appreciate it. Thank you very much for having me.
Okay, Scott Crable with us here on Sports Day. We'll check in. Voice of the Fort Hays State Tigers, Gerard Welbrock on next.
Hey everyone, this is Cole Wright, voice of the Barton Cougars. Attending sporting events for Barton Community College is great, but did you know you can support the athletic teams even further by getting involved with the Cougar Booster Club? The Boosters help with fundraising for equipment and facility upgrades to give Barton athletes every opportunity to keep succeeding at the regional and national levels. Join the Cougar Booster Club as an individual or business. Call 620-792-9377. Become a booster today. Go Cougars.
Dr. Nels here, Animal Medical Center, and today I wanted to visit with you about the power of a multi-doctor practice. And the power of a multi-doctor practice is we can serve many different people, many different personalities. The power of a multi-doctor practice is we have a lot of horsepower here, a lot of people. We can get a lot done. We can say yes, we can get you taken care of. The other cool thing about a multi-doctor practice is we're all different personalities, we're all different makes and models. Dr. Nels here, Animal Medical Center, large or small, we take care of them all.
Community bankers should actually know your community. Hi, I'm Sean Powelson, president of your local Equity Bank. As someone who lives here, I know many of you, and I know what's important to you. I've been in the industry a long time, and I've helped many navigate through financial challenges and lead them to financial opportunities. I believe that people bank with people, so I'd like to invite you to stop by one of our region's 5 locations and meet our friendly, helpful staff. Let us show you our commitment to serving you and our communities. Because at Equity Bank, we're right here beside you. Member FDIC.
Some people call him Gerard. Most people just call him Grr. It's time for Tiger Talk on Sports Day with the voice of the Fort Hays State Tigers. Here's Gerard Welbrock.
All right, Gerard Welbrock joining us right now. Tigers 2-1 on the season. It was just kind of weird last week, Gerard. We said you're talking about, well, you're going in, you're taking on Northwest Missouri State. Don't want to look past them, you know. They're 0-2. And you have to go up to Maryville, and Tigers come up short 32-20. Life on the road in the old MIAA.
Yeah, I guess the disappointing thing, it was 14-0. Fort Hays State was just, I mean, they're rolling there. I mean, looking good. Great first possession, get an interception, go in and score. And this is 2 in a row now. They've gotten off to a quick start and then just kind of hit a lull for whatever the reason is. And I think they're all trying to figure that out yet. But and then give Northwest credit. I thought Northwest played like a Northwest team. They just bullied Fort Hays State, and the Tigers did not respond. And they really, quarter and a half, I mean, I'd say into the third, Fort Hays State played well. They played well enough to win, and then it just kind of unraveled. Then the defense was on the field for so long, they wore out there at the end. So, yeah, it was disappointing because that was a winnable game for Fort Hays State, despite all of that. But, you know, as you said, life in the MIAA, you better bring it or you're going to be in trouble, and that was the case.
Northwest Missouri State, I love it. They get their first touchdown from a video game guy, Tank Young.
How about that? He played for Randy Dreiling at St. Thomas Aquinas.
Oh, is that right? Tank Young. Anyway, it was 17-7 Fort Hays State, and then that's when I guess Northwest started to make a run then, and ended up taking a lead 24-17. So with the offense right now, is it where? I mean, how much growth can you see with that offense?
I mean, I think a lot actually. They just, you know, in fact, we just had our coaches show and I asked Chris about that, and he was flat out asked about, you know, when do you change quarterbacks, and he's not willing to go there yet because you know it's easy to blame the quarterback because that's football. You know. Offensive line started well, and then they didn't play as well. And they give up 3 sacks in the second half, and Jack was scrambling, didn't have time to do his progressions. Other times, the receivers maybe not running the right route, right angle. And now the linebacker who you should have been able to draw with you, you didn't because of your route, and now he's messing up the play. So I think it's a little bit of everything. I think it's getting everybody on the same page, and I don't think it's like just colossal shipwreck. I think it's maybe one guy doing one thing not right. Well, that ends up being big, and it's just getting everybody on the same page. And hopefully they can do that. I know there's been more of a sense of urgency in practice this week, kind of dictated by the head coach. So we'll see how they respond. I think they will respond, but I don't think it's a simple solution as it's a personnel issue. I think there's just a lot of little things that they got to play on the same page. Do your 1/11th, and I think if they do that, they have a chance to still be very good offensively.
Okay, Northeastern State, Saturday, the boys from Tahlequah come up, and they've been kind of struggling here in recent seasons. What about this year's version?
You know, they're 0-2. They should have beat Missouri Western. They turned it over on their first 4 possessions of the second half. They had them down 17 at halftime, and quite honestly were very impressive. Then they got blitzed by Central Missouri in week 2, who you know, that's a whole other story. I don't think they were prepared for what they were going to see there. They've had a bye week. I think that will help them. It's not your same Northeast. They got a new coach. I don't know if everybody remembers the name Darren Cheverini. Was a wide receiver for Colorado. He's an offensive coordinator for the Buffs. Played in the NFL for a while as a receiver. His first year, he's brought in some players. I mean, they have some physical specimens. And you know, will they put it together? I don't know, but they've got some renewed enthusiasm. From what I've watched, they play harder than they have in years past. They've got more physical athletes who can make plays than they have in years past. So Fort Hays State's going to have to play. I mean, they're just not going to show up and beat Northeastern State. If they do that, they will be in a battle. If they play their game, should they win? I would say so, but this is a you watch them physically, they look more like an MIAA team than they ever have. So it's a much improved team. They're going to, quarterback who likes to run. He's had some turnover problems. We'll see if Fort Hays State can continue to force him into some miscues. Because if they do that, I think they got a good chance. But this will be a good test. These guys are a lot better. It's going to be interesting to see how they do throughout, because they're still playing about 8 or so conference teams, how they do, because I think they're a lot better.
Quick overview of the MIAA standings right now, Gerard.
Well, let's see. Last weekend was interesting. I thought Central Missouri was, I had them earmarked in the championship. And then Central Oklahoma goes and just pounds them in the fourth quarter. UCO must be not better. I still think Central Missouri is good. Emporia is obviously good. They beat Pitt on the road. I think right now for Fort Hays State, you want chaos, because I think chaos does them well, because they're going to stay in the hunt that way, because they've got some big games left. And this just might be that year you see chaos, because last weekend was bizarre. Washburn, they're over, and they probably should have beat Colorado School of Mines, who's ranked 5th in the country. They had them on the ropes in Pittsburgh. So I think every week it's just going to be really fun, and you just got to focus on that game, take care of business, and hope to survive.
It's Northeastern State, Gerard. You get to take an elevator to the press box, not down there in Tahlequah on the stairs of death.
Still have, now they're going to be non-con. I mean, we're not going to play them anymore for a while. So, yeah, the walk up the Tahlequah Stadium is no longer, thank goodness. In fact, my heart's starting to palpitate just thinking about it.
All right, Gerard, thanks a bunch. Have fun this weekend. We'll talk to you next week.
See you, Steve.
Okay, Gerard Walbrock, voice of the Fort Hays State Tigers, with us on Sports Day.
Discover textbook freedom with Barton Community College's new low-cost degree pathway. With Pathway certified online courses, you get the Barton guaranteed option that your textbooks and course materials will cost $50 or less per class. Whether you want to earn your associate degree or transfer credits to a 4-year university, Barton offers flexible online courses and personalized support. Achieving your goals is now easier and more affordable. Learn more at textbookfreedom.bartonccc.edu.
Now, in its second decade, it's Sports Day on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM. Presented by Barton Community College and the Cougar Athletic Department.
Welcome back, Sports Day here on 1590 KVGB, 95.5 FM. Sports Day here on this Wednesday. You hear Gerard?
I heard Gerard, yes.
I had to bring up the stairs at Northeastern Oklahoma because Memorial Stadium, you think, is high?
Yes. When you're carrying equipment.
I know that, but that's 2/3 probably up the stadium stairs.
At Northeastern?
Yeah, where you would be at.
Okay.
Because all their seats are on one side. I mean, it goes up way high, but they do not have an elevator. And it's way up there. You would have to sit and rest.
Well, I about did anyway, but whew. Okay.
Okay, just
thank you for that update. I will remember it. That's Tahlequah, right?
That's Tahlequah.
I'm not going to Tahlequah.
You ever been to Tahlequah?
Never been to Tahlequah.
Down along the banks of the Illinois River.
Actually talked to somebody who went to school down there recently.
Really?
Graduated from Tahlequah. Who was that?
Gorgeous country. Yeah. Just kind of to the northeast of Muskogee. Yeah, right in there.
All right.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Miami Dolphins placing Tua Tagovailoa on injured reserve. 3rd concussion in 2 years. Good conversation with Kevin Sapezi yesterday on the Ask the Expert show, really digging down into concussions. Tennessee has announced a price hike for football tickets. Most of the increase going specifically to help pay players. This is, well, I know, but when you're sitting there doing stadium improvements, who do you go to? You go to the boosters, right?
Right.
Well, now the boosters are having to contribute as well to NIL money. Get a new TV contract. 10% talent fee for all invoices to help fund the proposed revenue share for athletes and help Tennessee attract and keep the best talent.
Rocky Top.
Talking Panther football tomorrow on Sports